Hello, my name is Laming Hong and my medicine number is 23109115. The question for our group is, what is the functional role of the DC supply in a synchronous motor? As you can see, this one is the synchronous motor. The outer component is called the stator and the inside one is called rotor. So this one is the 2D view for a synchronous motor. The outside one is called stator and the inside one is called rotor. Okay, first of all, in a synchronous motor, the stator produces the rotating magnetic field from an AC source. Okay, however, the rotor cannot catch up this speed on its own because it lacks a constant magnetic polarity. So we apply a DC current to the rotor windings. We then transform the rotor into an electromagnet with a fixed post. This rotor post then lock onto the opposite side of the pole at the stator rotating field. This magnetic interlock is what forces the rotor to spin at the exact same speed as the magnetic field, known as the synchronous speed, regardless of the load applied. Okay. As a result, the functional role of the DC supply is to turn the rotor to an electromagnet so that it can rotate with the same speed as the rotor. That's all from me. I will pass to my member.
Hi everyone, I will talk about the power factor and grid stability. Building on that, the DC supply does more than just make the motor run. It acts as the motor control knob for efficiency. This is a unique feature called power factor control. In most industrial settings, motor consume reactive power which make the electricity bill more expensive. However, by adjusting the strength of the DC supply, we call excitation level. We can change how the motor interact with the power grid. If we over excite the rotor by increasing the DC voltage, the motor actually starts supplying reactive power back to the grid, operating at a leading power factor. This acts like a giant capacitor, cleaning up the electrical efficiency of the entire building. Finally, the DC supply provides torque stability if a sudden heavy load is placed on the motor. The strength of the DC generator magnetic field that prevent the rotor from slipping out of alignment with the stator. In short, the DC supply is responsible for both the grid speed of the motor and also the electrical health of the system it's plugged into. Thank you everyone.